so delightful. It smells super high quality.
Honey is okay, Chris. This is good.
It is a really, really pretty scent. I can see why this one is getting all of the compliments.
Oh, this is very sexy.
This fragrance is called The Boss by Christopher Lee Fragrances, but I had to reach out to them on Instagram and tell them, your fragrance is bomb. Like, that's good.
I'm a money magnet, draped in designer. I stay high fashion. Tissue bougie, know I'm high maintenance.
What's up with it, y'all? It's Big Boss. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Fragrances. And I'm with my dude Eric. Can you please just go ahead and tell him? Yeah.
Getting after it, baby.
Yes, sir.
Say lean and mean.
Yes, sir. My dude Eric, he got his own channel. He's real big into fitness. He eat real healthy. I'm over his house right now, man. So I don't know what he about to feed the boss, but I know it's gonna be good and it's gonna be vegan. You know what I mean? So he a real good dude.
Giving you free game.
Exactly. I'm gonna put his channel down below if y'all care about eating healthy, taking care of your body, maybe a little fitness, gym workouts. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you might like. You know what I mean? Change your life around. Okay? Eric, go ahead and kick it off.
Yeah, let's dive right into the topic because once again, we're not here for me. We're here for the topic. And we're talking about niche versus designer fragrances. Is it what classifies what? Is it worth it to buy high-end designer fragrances, etc.? And we have come to a conclusion that we think that it should be broken down differently from niche and designer, because Louis Vuitton is designer, but some people call it niche, or Chris calls it niche because it's high-end, right? And same with like the Dior has their private line, Armani has a private line. There's a couple companies like that have their own private blend, and they are trying to have a niche and designer line when really it's mid-tier and high-end.
And that's kind of, I'm glad he stated that, because that's kind of the whole premise of this video. I kind of want to change what a designer fragrance is, how we classify and categorize these fragrances, because I know, for an example, if I'm making a niche fragrance list, I'm not putting Middle Eastern fragrances on that list. But everybody know, or from what everybody's been saying in the fragrance community, that a niche fragrance is from a house that only does fragrances. And if that was the case, Middle Eastern fragrances are niche. No, I'm just not about to accept that. So I want to change it. I want to say that there are different tiers. There's low tier, mid tier, high tier, and then there's a luxury brand. Anything probably over like $500, that's damn near like exotic sports cars. You feel me? And that's kind of what I want to explain to y'all today. So,
and we want to hear you guys' comments as well. But the way we see it is $60 and under would be low tier, 60 to 180 would be mid, right, and then 180 to 500 would be high quality, high tier, and then above that would just get into the luxury. Yeah. So once you get past that, once you get past the Creeds and the Bonds and all of that stuff, you're getting into a different game.
And it's gonna make it easier for people to understand these fragrances. We understand as a consumer that the more money I'm paying, the higher quality of the fragrance. So if I say I'm about to go to the store and get some low-end fragrances, everybody know I'm about to get some cheap stuff. Okay, something under $50. Anything that's in a rack store has to be low tier. If I could see this fragrance at Walmart, Family, Dollar General, is low tier. Okay,
facts.
If I go to Macy's, you know what I mean, Macy's normally have fragrances that's mid tier, because Macy's also have fragrances that's not even designer. Bulgari, where is they clothes? I don't see Bulgari clothes. I don't see Thomas Kamala clothes, but I'll see Thomas Kamala inside Macy's. You know what I mean? So,
although I think those two do have their own clothing line, it's just not as popular. Like I know Bulgari does watches and stuff as well, so they do stuff outside of fragrance, but it's just not a big fashion brand like you would think with Dior, Gucci, Tom Ford.
Exactly. So that's kind of like what we wanted to tell y'all about, and like how when I go to Dillard's, they have some high-end fragrances, but we all know when we go into places like Neiman's Market, Saks, that's where we get the luxury stuff. Yeah. You will find a Creed bottle in there for like $400, $500, $600. You know what I'm saying? So I want to change the whole landscape of how we are categorizing these fragrances. And I need y'all to go in the comments and let me know. Don't this just make sense? You know what I mean? Because is a Middle Eastern fragrance a niche fragrance to y'all?
Or is it a dupe house? It's a cheapie. It's a low tier.
What
fragrance.
would you call it? Yeah, low tier makes sense.
And I guess moving into that, so like, with that being said, with the designer niche, what it is right now, obviously the word niche, the definition is not mass appealing. It's for a niche sector. That's not the right word for that. But is it worth buying the high-end designer fragrances like the private blend Dior's, the private blend Tom Ford's, the Louis Vuitton's, the private blend Armani's, versus just getting a niche, what we would call, but really a high-end fragrance that is a sole fragrance company? Because in my opinion, I know like a lot of people love the Louis Vuitton ones, a lot of people love those private blend Dior's, but I've smelled them all, and it just doesn't do it for me. The performance isn't there. They smell normal designer realm. They smell like they would be in that mid-tier, but they just charge you for the high tier because of the name. So it's like the tiers are so weird because they're technically high-end if you go off of our chart, but the way that they perform and actually smell would be like that $60 to $100 or $60 to $180 range.
And I think about it kind of like, okay, so if you guys collect Jordans and whatever, maybe the regular pair of Jordans that's around $200, that's mid-tier. But sometimes Jordan will collab with like Supreme.
Yep.
And yes, it's the same shoe. People might not even like that shoe, and it might not look good to them. And it's still just a regular shoe, so it's not like it performs.
Yeah, the quality's the same.
It's the same
it's
quality.
just like has a different name, and now it's
they hike the price up.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at these private blends. Is y'all just maybe just linked up with another perfumer? You know what I mean? And he just made a set of 5 fragrances because they are not inside. You just want to just raise the price for just whatever you want to raise the price of. And I'm not mad at it because Dior Sauvage, y'all got like a Baccarat edition that costs $8,000. Like, and it's still Dior Sauvage elixir inside that bottle. But y'all just wanted to come out with an edition that charges more. So I think going to a more simple price category makes it way easier for everybody, especially when a whole bunch of YouTubers is making these videos, because we know it don't make sense. Louis Vuitton, how does it cost the same price as what's another like MFK?
Yep.
You know what I mean? But y'all keep classifying it. These are designer house. First of all, in my opinion, they make clothes, but their fragrance division is a whole nother division. It's not even designer, they're fragrances. It's just because it's Louis Vuitton don't mean it's a designer fragrance. No, they design clothes and they make fragrances. When I design clothes, y'all gonna call me a designer house too? No, I just make clothes and I make fragrances. It's just like, I feel like that was confusing everybody, especially me, when I started making this fragrance content. I'm like, bruh, technically this is niche and technically that's niche. And we know when we think of niche, it's more high end. So,
well, the really weird thing about the Louis Vuitton thing is, like, if you look across the board at their products, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Tom Ford, Gucci, these are all brands where their general products are in that same realm of price. But why are the Louis Vuitton fragrances like way out of the stratosphere compared to everybody else? Givenchy. Yeah. Think about all the other brands that are in that mid tier, and Louis Vuitton just is way up here. And I truly don't think that the smell justifies it.
$300, $400, bro.
But you have to compare them to the private blends. So, like, if you compare Louis Vuitton to the private blend Dior to the private blend Tom Ford, like, then it's a little more even.
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's a packaging thing because I'm inside the business. Because Louis Vuitton, whatever you want to pronounce it, they come out with these little canisters. And the top is like magnetic,
yeah,
or whatever, just because they put more like R&D into their actual bottle designs. And then even in their stores, they probably could just put a lot of R&D into their stores, so they just want to come across and separate themselves from everybody. I think they just a little bougie. You can't even find Imagination inside Macy's or inside Dillard's. It's exclusively
it's only to their stores. And I forgot to mention Chanel as well as one of those high-end brands where their products are really up there, but their fragrances are accessible. So, and Dior and Chanel don't go on sale or don't allow sales or gray market. So they want their brand to be something the same way Louis does, but Louis just is playing a different game. And I wish their packaging was better. Like, now that you mentioned the packaging, I'm like, not that impressed by the packaging, to be honest. I kind of think it's...
And especially when I can create these fragrances and I know where they're getting the oils from. Like, all these companies go to the same vendor to get the oils. You know what I mean? So I know how much Louis Vuitton and how much Dior is paying for these oils. And I understand that it might cost me probably like $20, $30.
Do you know? Leave it. We got screaming kids. You're talking about how much you're gonna start from.
Oh,
you know how much the oils cost and everything.
Yeah. So I know how much these oils cost. Like for an example, my bottles cost around like, plus all the shipping and all that stuff, it's like $35 to $40 a bottle. You know what I mean? And I understand that they are going to the same vendor I'm going to, because I talked to the vendor and they told me out their mouth that other companies work with them. And I'm like, swear to God. So this Sicilian bergamot is the same Sicilian bergamot that they will be using. So the fact that they are charging y'all way more because the bottle is different and it's just the name.
And the name,
yeah,
brand recognition.
And at the end of the day, y'all are spraying. It's not like you wearing it on your body where everybody can see you're wearing a Louis Vuitton pair of pants. This is just a smell.
And it dissipates and you spray through it and it's no longer there, versus investing in a clothing piece that you're going to have forever.
Yeah. So them hyping up the price is purely on name. It's not like quality or not like that. So
full circle to kind of close the video out. I know a lot of people are complaining about, these prices just keep getting higher and higher. Even for the mid-tier, they just keep moving these prices up. And I want it to be known that it is the consumer's fault. It's our fault for paying that price. Obviously, a lot of people go gray market, myself included. I don't think I've bought retail ever. I go gray market every time. And that's a smart move. We have to, as consumers, fight back and actually fight these prices down, because they're coming out with fragrances in every single week. Now Paco Rabanne's dropping $180 fragrance. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And everybody feels the same. $180 is not the bar. You need to go back to your $70, $80, $90. These need to be some sort of entry in the door. I don't care that you rebranded your bottle and now you want to charge $180. It's not worth it. It has to be up to consumers to not be so excited to rush out and get the new thing. Let the reviewers like Chris get the new thing so they can explain what it is. Get a decant, test it. But don't rush at stores and let these companies take advantage of all of us. It's ruining the whole community because of it. And I think if we push back, you'll see those prices start to come down as well. And then they'll fit in their actual mid-tier where they belong.
And I think that's why companies like MFK is like filing lawsuits, and they are going to these platforms and getting other influencers taken down, like their whole channel taken down and deleted off of TikTok, deleted off of Instagram, because they might be pushing clone houses. And I think clone houses is great still, to my opinion. Like, I love me some Geranium Amber Oud, and I was actually smelling Geranium Amber Oud Blue Edition. That fragrance smells identical to Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette. And this is what I want to talk about. Like, it's so weird. They'll come out with a Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette, a Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, and a Bleu de Chanel Parfum, but they will all smell different. And they'll claim that they are just raising the concentration, right? But how is that the case where the Geranium Amber Oud is an extractive parfum and it smells identical to the original Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette, but it's a higher concentration? So if Geranium Amber Oud can make a higher concentration of a toilette and it smells like a toilette, but it's higher concentration, why the hell couldn't Bleu de Chanel do that? Why do y'all keep, no, I'm going to take some of the citrus notes out and add wood. No, I'm going to tell y'all just keep changing the fragrances. I don't know, I just feel like,
yeah, they are changing it.
Yeah,
they're trying to get more sales because they want you to have all of the stuff.
Exactly.
So it's not repetitive.
Exactly. I don't understand how these fragrances are coming out with a higher concentration, but the whole fragrance smells totally different. Prada Ocean Eau de Parfum and Prada Ocean Le Parfum, they all smell different.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I don't get it.
Well, the one doesn't even smell like it should be called Ocean.
No.
And we were talking about like how the Sauvage just keeps going up more and more.
How does
we just want a new line. You don't have to call it, Sauvage, or you don't have to call it Bleu de Chanel, or you don't have to call it Ocean for consumers to buy it. Give us a new product. Yeah. I understand it's marketing and the actual price of the packaging and renaming, and it's a whole campaign that they go through, but people are going to buy it regardless. Just give us a new product.
YSL came out with Myself, no matter if it smelled like Valentino to me or not, and that blew off the shelves. So I think Dior, they can do that. I just heard it's a brand new Chanel coming out, and I'm not eager to get that. I'm not thirsty.
There's a new Chanel, there's a new Dior, and then for the title's sake, there's a new Creed that we can touch on here at the end.
Yeah.
So there's a new Creed that got leaked, and that should be interesting to see. It looks like it's coming in some red bottle. Here, I have it here. Chris sent it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it up on the screen right here. They are selling like somebody, probably a leaker or something.
Yeah, Centaurus is what it's called.
Yeah.
And there's somebody got a hold of the bottle. Should be interesting to see. They're selling decants, which is kind of funny. So somebody on the inside is selling decants. And it says that it's
And I bought one.
a bold and seductive scent of Centaurus by Creed, a new fragrance for men and women launched in 2024. This amber spicy fragrance features top notes of cardamom, tobacco, cinnamon, and black pepper, and is complemented by middle notes of heliotrope, sandalwood, patchouli, geranium, and jasmine. The base notes are Ambroxan, Bourbon Vanilla, Balsam, whatever that is, Tonka Bean, and Benzoin. Provide a long-lasting and irresistible aroma. Unleash your inner confidence and sophistication with Centaurus.
Yeah, and I feel like
so it should be interesting. Creed hasn't put something out in a while, so I would be interested in that one.
This is like the first date night Creed fragrance I've heard.
Definitely.
Tonka Bean vanilla. I've never heard. Like, did Creed ever put a vanilla in their fragrance?
I think that original Santal that I showed you is kind of like their sweet version of fragrance.
Yeah,
I think there might be like sandalwood and vanilla a little bit in that one. Yeah, but cardamom or something like that too.
I think
spice.
this one might be like might
this
be
one
like
might be darker. One might be
the
the dark, right? Everything else is very bright and fresh. This might be the darker date night.
And I kind of feel like, based on this being a first traditionally dark fragrance,
Could be a hit.
It might be a hit. It might be a whole new DNA we never smelled before.
Or it could be a flop.
Yeah, or a flop. But I remember when Creed Aventus first came out, everybody was like, oh, this could maybe be the next Creed Aventus. Because I remember Creed, they had their green iris tweed that was running the scene for like 15, 20 years. Aventus came out. It's been running the scene. They came out with, whenever they come out with flankers, you know it's running the scene. So they came out with 3 flankers of it. This is their first dark fragrance that I'm aware of. And I'm kind of excited for it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess that wraps up our Let's Talk fragrances.
Yeah, man, we ain't got no more content, y'all. You know what I mean? No more to talk about.
Well, we have more content, but it's different videos. So
yeah.
We'll see you in the next one.
Make
Go
sure
and close us out.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all. Make sure y'all follow Eric. All his content and all his channels is down below. Instagram too. Follow him. Check in.
Yeah, if you want to see some fly shit, you know, on the daily type shit.
Facts.
Two flash motherfuckers
out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all. Don't forget, y'all, there's a sale going on today through the whole little weekend, 15% off. I'm gonna let y'all know something though. There's only 1 more bottle left of honey water, so whoever get that.
Oh wow!
And there's only 4 bottles left of sunny afternoon. So y'all been buying up everything.
Wow.
I gotta make a new batch and figure that out. But for now, I just wanna let y'all know, get it while supplies last. All right, love y'all, big boss, and I'm out.